It's tough. We're in a market that doesn't favor sedans. If you're a sedan fan, real quick, before we jump into this Mazda 6 stuff, smash the like button. And if you want to see the return of the Mazda 6, we're going to smash that like button today. But this was back in May of 2021, the shot heard around the world as consumer interest continued to evolve, aka bigger crossovers. Mazda killed off the CX-3 and Mazda 6 for the 2022 model year for the US market. But news coming out of Japan from Best Car Web, the most reliable source of upcoming Japanese cars. This is saying that the Mazda 6 is under development and underway. Let's go. Holy cow, guys. These rumors have been going around for a while now. And, they seem to be gaining steam, gaining traction. I think, Mazda has said they don't want to abandon sedans, but their focus right now is their large crossovers. We still need to have the CX-70 come to our market. And for the Japanese market and other markets, they still need the CX-80 to come to their market. Once those products are out, I think it's kind of like, what are they going to do next with this large platform that underpins the CX-90, for example, and the CX-60? And I think the Mazda 6 is that next logical step. The headline says the new Mazda 6 FR, so front engine, rear wheel drive. Yes, Mazda 6 no longer front wheel drive only. I don't know if they ever had all wheel drive models for other markets. I'm not 100% sure, but they had wagons of the Mazda 6 for other markets. But anyways, they're saying it's equipped with a 3.3 liter straight six engine. Yeah, the inline six that we see in the CX-90, and a four-door coupe that is a sleek design that will be released in 2025 or later. Okay, so the earliest you're going to see this is 2025, but hey, good things come to those who wait. And let's just get into the images first, because it is a cool looking vehicle here. I think I get actually a little MDX Type S vibes from the front bumper, which is not bad because I love the looks of the MDX and the Type S variant. The headlights are very futuristic, but they're saying this is still kind of based off that Kodo design language. And then from the back here, since it is more of that coupe style, it kind of looks like the Toyota Mirai. And we have a little side decal here, or design ornamentation that we see on the CX-90, for example. It'll say like inline six, for example, or whatever powertrain that they may have in it, because I think the PHEV says PHEV on the side. A little fog light nestled here at the bottom, huge wheels. This will probably have 21-inch wheels. And there is a rear image as well. Doesn't look as clean and is excellent, in my opinion, as the front image. But of course, this is just a render. We have blacked out window surrounds. And this window surround kind of reminds me of the CT5 that I reviewed fairly recently. Make sure to watch that Blackwing review, because it's one of the best vehicles or enthusiast cars I've ever driven. But yeah, if the new Mazda 6 comes out looking a little bit like this, I think people will be very happy. Not quite the full light bar here, but a more chiseled look of those rear lights that we have on the CX-90. Looks pretty good. Now, this, even though it's a sport back, or, kind of that coupe design, it doesn't look like it's going to be a lift back. So hate to break the bubble to maybe some of your Stinger fans out there, but it looks like more of a traditional sedan here with a trunk. All right, let's get into the details of what they're saying about it. Development is currently underway, which, if it comes out by 2025, 2026, it's been underway for the last 2-3 years, I would say. They're saying, first of all, the main premise is the newly designed large product line with a vertically mounted, or you could say longitudinally mounted, straight six engine and front wheel drive has been received more highly than expected in the North American market. And I was going to look at sales, but real quick, there is 2024 Mazda CX-30 pricing and packaging, which everything is getting more expensive, so I almost don't want to read that at all. But how is this large platform doing for Mazda so far in 2023? Well, they have the introduction of the CX-90 with the 3.3 liter turbo. It's like a mild hybrid setup. They've sold almost 9,000 of those, and then the plug-in hybrid, they've only sold 4,000. So if you look at what the CX-9 sold last year, which it was doing pretty well, and it had a great end of the year last year. But 2,100 units sold in the month. What are we looking at? Month of August. They sold even more than that of just the inline six model, let alone the plug-in hybrid model for August. So they're doubling up their sales about. Maybe a little bit more compared to the CX-90. The CX-90 is doing great for them. I see them on the road. They have a ton of road presence. They have a lot of luxury and flair to them as well. So they are actually surprised, it seems like, how well the CX-90 is doing, and they want to implement this platform in more vehicles here in the United States. They're saying in Japan, this new platform of the CX-60 is selling more actually than the smaller CX-5. And they're also calling this a flagship. I know the old Mazda 6 was kind of a flagship. I don't know how the new Mazda 6 is going to be a flagship with how expensive the CX-90 can get, around $61,000. I just don't see how it may be the flagship sedan, but not the flagship total of the brand. All right, so the company is targeting the North American market here with the new Mazda 6. And in order to strengthen the premium line of its large product line, it seems that it's dedicated that it needs not only SUVs, but also luxury sedans, including four-door coupes with elegant designs. Since the CX series of SUVs has to be established first, it is likely that it will not appear till 2025 at the earliest. All right, so the powertrains. Inline 4 plug-in hybrid is an option, which I still haven't tested this out on the CX-90, but I hear in some ways it is superior to the inline 6. In some markets, you'll also see the turbo diesel and turbo diesel mild hybrid. Again, we wouldn't get that here in the United States. And here's the inline 6 3.3 liter. Interestingly, that 3.3 liter inline 6 is not available in Japan. So they get the diesel 3.3, but they don't get the gasoline 3.3. All right. And they say there's a possibility that there's a naturally aspirated Mazda 6, which makes sense to me. You want to have lots of different powertrain options. They're also saying the turbo will be available, which I'm assuming that it would be the inline 6 turbo, but maybe they're talking 4-cylinder turbo here. And they're saying that the drive is front rear and front rear base 4-wheel drive. So you're going to have the option of all-wheel drive here for the first time ever. But not only that, it's going to be rear-wheel drive bias, and the base models will be rear-wheel drive. So you could drift the Mazda 6. Isn't that crazy? I guess wasn't the Mazda Speed 6, wasn't that all-wheel drive? Now that it's coming back to me. It's all coming back to me now, you know, like Celine Dion. Anyways, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I came up with a spreadsheet of the new Mazda 6 and its powertrains, pricing, what I would expect, how it competes against the Camry and the Accord hybrids, because the Mazda 6 will be hybrid only, even with the inline 6. It's a mild hybrid there. So the Mazda 6 is more of a German performance product. It's rear-wheel drive, unlike any other Japanese sedan or even Korean sedan in the segment. It's almost more of a Genesis Fighter 2 in that regard, being rear-wheel drive biased. It is also the only Japanese brand sedan or Korean-based sedan that is a plug-in hybrid. So that's pretty cool as well. So let's get into what's going on here, what I would expect from a Mazda 6. You'd have two different flavors, the plug-in hybrid as well as the 3.3 liter inline 6 mild hybrid. They have similar acceleration numbers. They have similar power and torque numbers. I've been hearing that the plug-in hybrid is a smoother experience. And I think Sofian from Redline Reviews even said the CX-90 plug-in hybrid was a tick faster 0 to 60 compared to the inline 6. I know we have that juicy imagination of the inline 6 turbo because we have such a great one in like the Supra, for example. We have such a storied history with Japanese inline 6s with the 2JZ and the RB lineup from Nissan. But, you know, it is, at least the way it is right now, it is not that enticing, mainly because it's hamstrung by this 8-speed automatic and the lack of a torque converter. They put electric motor in between the engine and the transmission to kind of smooth out the gear shifts and whatnot. But if they come out the inline 6 with a manual, it's game over. This thing would be insane for enthusiasts, and it'd be a true luxury gentleman's car at that point. My gosh, it'd be so much fun. But anyways, I don't think they would do that. And I think the plug-in hybrid would probably start off at a higher price here due to the larger battery with a huge battery pack in it compared to around the 1 kilowatt hour battery pack that we have on the inline 6 model. But yeah, $40,000 to $45,000 would be the entry price I would expect for the Mazda 6, topping around $55,000. Definitely a luxury sedan at this point. And I think it would cost more with these powertrains, definitely than the base Camry, which is going to start around $30,000 as a hybrid base model, as well as the Accord hybrid starts around $32,000. But it's a completely different type of vehicle here, with a rear-wheel drive bias and a performance mantra to it. The Camry is trying to do the best of everything, kind of be the jack of all trades here by offering lots of different electrified powertrains in theory. I just have no confirmation outside of this powertrain, but they could put in a plug-in a powertrain. We see this powertrain in the RAV4 Prime, as well as other Lexus and Toyota hybrids. And then we know about this powertrain that I just reviewed on the Crown, the Hybrid Max powertrain. So, you know, it would be fun to compare like a TRD Camry with 340 horsepower. I don't know why I left this one in here. I'm going to delete this out of here. There you go. This is more likely to come than, let's say, an overboosted 2.4 liter. So yeah, 2.4 turbo hybrid with 340 horse and 400 pound-feet of torque could absolutely come in the Camry. It's a TRD model. So let me know down below, which of these vehicles would you be most interested in? A new Mazda 6 if it looks like what we saw earlier today, but we also don't know the looks of the new Camry coming out either. But man, how fun would it be to compare the inline 6 Mazda versus like the TRD Camry with the Hybrid Max powertrain, and then compare Mazda 6 plug-in hybrid with the rear-wheel drive bias compared to the Camry's plug-in Prime hybrid. You know, the Accord hybrid, really the only vehicles comparable on this list is the Camry hybrid, but it doesn't offer all-wheel drive and it's underpowered compared to the Camry base hybrid, and it's also not available in all-wheel drive, which the new Camry hybrid will be. So Honda's not looking so hot on this list, but I'd still probably pick it over the big Ultima Energy. Would I pick it over the Sonata hybrid? I don't know. It depends on what kind of deal I can get. And I'd pick it over the K5 just because I like electrified powertrains in today's modern era. But anyways, I'm going to shut it down there. I'm amped for the Mazda 6 if you can't tell. I hope it's coming. We still don't have official confirmation, but I think when we hear things from Best Car Web, I'm not going to say it's good as gold, but more times than not, they are spot on. So that's the crazy thing. That's why I'm so excited. That's why I'm making this video, because this is a pretty reliable source we're looking at here. And Mazda, yeah, they have all the tools in their shed to build the return of the Mazda 6. Let's hope that they do it. I'll see you guys down below on what your thoughts and wants and needs are on the new Mazda 6. Manual would be great. Just don't get your hopes up for it. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Subscribe for more Mazda updates. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.